We travel to El Salvador to revitalize a school. At Friends of El Salvador, we uplift communities through development, capital improvements, health and wellness, and art, all of which came together to create a lasting change for these students and their families. We provided new desks, chairs, a roof, fresh paint, and a pavilion.
Wait. It's playing. It's playing on the Instagram. It's fine. Good morning. Welcome to the Football Takeover. My name is Maria Duran. I am the owner of Duran Concepts and the host of the Football Takeover, a show about the intersection of business, community, culture, and our favorite sport, football. So everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We are recording live at the Innovation Studio, and here, thanks to our friends at Creatopia for the in-house studio production. So yeah, remember that we are live across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So you can leave your comments in the live chat and we will check them out. Today, you know what? Let me get into my own Facebook so then that way we can all be on the same page. But today, I want to talk about football and community impact. So I've actually been in, like the community engagement and community relations space now for over 20 years. And I can tell you that whenever there is investment in community, when there is a true mission and in a very conscious way of elaborating the plan and the engagement, there's so much that can be accomplished. And so that's why I'm very excited about today's guest, because we're going to talk about an organization that is doing a lot of work, not only here locally, but also internationally. And I think that it's important for all of us to learn about, different organizations, different individuals behind those organizations. And guess what? They're also involved in a big football event that's coming up. So there's a lot of intersections there that I think are very important for us to learn about and to talk about. So today's guest is a first-generation Salvadoran American storyteller and advocate passionate about personal growth, mental wellness, and empowering others. As Executive Director of Communications and Marketing for Friends of El Salvador, she uses storytelling and creativity to connect communities, amplify voices, and inspire positive change. With a background in media, marketing, and content creation, she's passionate about creating spaces where stories can educate, heal, and inspire. So let's welcome to the show, Edna. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Really excited to have you because, there's a lot going on and you have a big role.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure with the storytelling part and the marketing, just being able to get the word out with everything we do in the communities, whether that's in El Salvador or even here in Houston. So it's a huge task to overtake. But I'm excited to do it because I want to be able to do something good and just, leave a good footprint. Then, leave the world better than I came into it, sort of situation.
No, I love that. I love that. So tell us a little bit about yourself first before we dig into all of everything that you do and everything that you're doing with Friends of El Salvador. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, aside from doing the marketing for Friends of El Salvador, I have always been someone who's wanted to help people, no matter what that looked like. So I'm big on wanting to see how we can improve the world for others. But also, I love creativity. I'm big on, I'm in the acting world personally, and that's something that just sparks my creativity in that sense because I'm able to just step into it. It also helps with stepping into someone else's shoes in that regard, because you're forced to get in that mindset, which I love. But I was like, and then with being first generation born here, I've been going to El Salvador since I was 12. So I've personally seen, even from just my family, how it is to live there, and seeing that it's not easy. But I'm excited to do things that I know it's gonna make that change, and it's progressing, and it's exciting to see that. But that's like a little summary, I guess, about me without going into too much.
No, I love that. Next time you're in Salvador, next time we're both in El Salvador, I know we need to make plans to hang out, to do something, especially, like in El Occidente.
Yes.
There's so much to do.
There's so much to do. And then I'm always going to different coffee shops out there. So I'm down to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then if it's, I invite everybody. So if it's between December and January, actually November to January, then we can also go pick coffee at my aunt's coffee farm.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, please.
It is, I will tell you, it is one of the most interesting, hardest things you will ever do. But at the same time, it will give you so much appreciation for, every single cup of coffee that you have from that moment on. So, yeah. So we're already making plans.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about Friends of El Salvador and, the mission of the organization.
Well, Friends of El Salvador initially started in 2009 with toy deliveries and toy donations. It started with one toy. And from there was just passion with the community surrounding the people going to donate. And now since we've been an organization, a nonprofit organization officially for 3, almost 4 years now. And what we do is we work to empower communities towards self-sufficiency, and we have programmings for that. So we do art, health and wellness, and education. But also, apart from the programming, we also help in capital improvement and improving the infrastructure in those communities. Especially when you go to the communities in San Miguel, you see that a lot of the people there, they sometimes struggle with flooding and getting to one place to the other. And so we have a 50-50 model for capital improvement specifically, where we'll raise like more than half of the funds here, and then they will also do their own fundraising projects as well in those communities, because then it gives them that sense of ownership for those projects being done. And then when you have that sense of ownership, statistically it's already been proven that people want to take care of what they worked for. And so instead of them depending on someone coming in once a year, we're walking alongside them to help guide them to, be their own essentially community and know that they are able to take care of themselves. But we're excited to be able to bring in the programming that is needed. And it's exciting because we have a program director down there who lives in San Miguel assisting us with that. So it's essentially just knowing that we are empowering these communities to be able to do that.
Wow. Well, and I actually got to see it firsthand. I think this was 2 years ago now.
Oh, wow.
Where, I was in El Salvador during December. And so I was able to attend one of the walks that they had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 3 mile or...
The caminatas.
Yeah, las caminatas de 5 kilómetros. And it was so beautiful to see it because, first of all, I had not been to that part of San Miguel. I had only been to San Miguel, the city.
Oh.
And then, being able to go to, is it Miraflores?
Miraflores.
To Miraflores, which is maybe about 15, 20 minutes outside of San Miguel. And I mean, first of all, it was absolutely beautiful there. La caminata was there next to the lake.
Yeah.
And that was... Guys, that was maybe one of the best events and just the scenery because, here you are at the start line and then you have this lake and then in the background you have El Volcán de San Miguel and it's just absolutely beautiful. But I think aside from that, it's also just, the community. The community is so beautiful. Like everybody, I saw a lot of smiles, a lot of people, just... doing things, they were getting themselves involved. There were even, volunteers that had come in from the States that happened to be there and that were helping. And it was a really cool vibe. And then at the end, there was food, there was community, there was just it was really, really, really cool. So I had fun. So I can definitely say that Friends of El Salvador is doing great work and they are empowering the communities because, got to see firsthand how they were taking ownership of, that event as well.
And then if anyone ever travels to San Miguel, they can reach out to us as well. Let us know the dates and we'll get you connected with the program director so we can see how you can volunteer when you're down there. Yeah. And
I think that's the great thing, right? There's like volunteer opportunities with Friends of El Salvador, not only here, but also abroad.
Yep. Which is cool. Yeah.
So the best way to volunteer is to reach out to you?
Yes. Reach out to us, whether that's through email, through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, send us a message, and then we'll be able to work with you and see if you're traveling to San Miguel, then we can see what dates. And then if you're in Houston specifically, we have several community events throughout the year, and we're always looking for volunteers to step in during those events, because it's a lot of work for a small team, but we love being able to do what we do, and having that volunteer base is what helps.
Yeah, and I know we have some pictures of the volunteers there. I think they're right next to the... Yeah, see that right? That's the picture right there.
Yeah,
the ladies on the left hand side, El Volcán in the background,
Yeah.
the lake right there is just absolutely beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about, some of the health and wellness programs that you have in El Salvador.
Yeah. Well, some of the health and wellness programs we have started with teaching how to play football, American football, because anyone who knows El Salvador or Latin America, period, we're big on soccer or futbol, as we like to call it. And so being able to also exercise that training for American football, knowing that they're learning, also activating their brain through that. And we've seen not just the kids get involved through that alone, but also the parents get involved as well. And it's exciting because then we're able to, now we have La Universidad Gerardo Barrios as well, with bringing in sports practice, teaching them even more of how to incorporate soccer, but also the what it takes to stretch and the getting your body ready for that. A lot of people just kind of jump into it and then, it's a strain on their body, but then they're able to take that home with them and say, look what I learned. I learned how to play baseball. I learned how to play football. I know more technicalities on soccer. And then they want to keep continuing and knowing that they're kind of subconsciously already wanting to better their health, which also turns to bringing that to their family, whether they're a child or even the parents. They want to incorporate, how can we continue doing this every day aside from the programming.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because it really is about getting the entire family up and moving, but then also involved, in the programs that you have over there. I know another big program that I've seen, right, on en las redes is like the art and the educational programming that you have. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, with the art, it's definitely like tapping into the creativity. Also, it gives a lot of the children there who many aren't aware, but they work in the farms with their families. They wake up at the break of dawn and they are already out in the fields. And so it also gives the kids that mental break from working. And it's also giving the parents a break as well from, being able to just taking care of everything. And for at least an hour during the week, they're able to get that relaxation and that creativity. But even with the art, we've now incorporated the reading and teaching them how to read. Especially, we've seen a lot of adults now wanting to learn and get that education to read and write. And we're able to do that through the art program. And then with the education, which, we've been partnering with La Universidad Gerardo Barrios, Rice University, and University of Houston Downtown to create this international internship program. So specifically with University of Houston Downtown, we work with the marketing students. They're able to learn hands-on experience of what it takes to do international marketing. And that it's you have different audiences now that you're catering to, because one, yes, you have the audience here in the US who are going to be your biggest donors, but then you also have the audiences in the communities that you're working with, and knowing that they want to know that what they're participating in is, actually taking effect. And a lot of people see that on social media. And then with Rice, we have a lot more of a technical internship program with them, where they're creating so many forms and nonprofit like necessities for the organization, but they're also seeing as well what it takes to, because they'll travel with us and they'll see, oh, it's more than just creating an app or more than just creating a program or a fundraising opportunity. There's a lot more that goes into it. And then with La Universidad Gerardo Barrios, they're the ones who bring in, we've started a theater program, which I forgot to mention. We have a theater program with them. And they teach because with the theater, anyone who has worked in improv, it gives the communities now, they're bringing more confidence into their daily lives. They walk straighter. They present themselves with a lot more of that, I know I can do this, because they were able to put themselves out there through improv. Anyone who's done it knows it's not easy to put yourself out there and look a little silly, but you can see it in how they're now bringing that in and just having a lot more confidence in themselves. And then what they also have, they bring the sports practice and just bringing a lot more technicalities into the community. But now that with the family orientations, they're able to bring a lot more community involvement with everything that we do. And it's really beautiful to see how all these different universities with different se me van las palabras, but like
it's cool. We do Spanglish here.
But like they each have their own niche, and it's great because they're able to see how it all works together.
Yeah. No, and I think you guys, Friends of El Salvador has definitely done a great job of building partnerships, right? Not only with educational institutions, but also with other community organizations, because like you said, right, everybody's bringing kind of ese granito de arena in order to really provide a holistic I guess toolkit of resources to the community. And you don't always see that.
No.
And so you guys have done a really great job of that. And I will say that just looking at, social media and obviously attending events and seeing what everybody's doing, it's really cool, because I know that the books and the reading has come through a partnership with local high schoolers, right?
Yes. Yes. We also partner with a lot of local high schoolers who want to volunteer and give back, and which was beautiful, which is how we got into the reading. They're called Cuentos y Sueños. And now they are also supporting and raising funds for a new infrastructure project that we have currently going on. And it's essentially going to be a church for the community, but it's even more than that. It's going to be a community center and a shelter for hurricane season, for those rainy seasons. So now they have, essentially the Catholic community now has a place to worship, but they also have a community center for programming, and they have a shelter for whenever the weather gets really terrible. As anyone knows, El Salvador, it can rain, and it can rain hard.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, we have a video of some of the programs that you do, and let's show it so that way everybody can learn a little bit more, actually see the visuals, right?
Yeah.
Of what Friends of El Salvador is doing in the community.
We travel to El Salvador to revitalize a school. At Friends of El Salvador, we uplift communities through development, capital improvements, health and wellness, and art, all of which came together to create a lasting change for these students and their families. We provided new desks, chairs, a roof, fresh paint, and a pavilion, creating a safer, more inspiring space for learning. Beyond infrastructure, we support the well-being of the entire community through programming and art. If you'd like to support projects like this one, consider donating to Friends of El Salvador. Every contribution makes a difference.
That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. We had Liz on the show.
Oh yeah.
And so she mentioned, doing this project with you guys. And so everybody, if you saw that last mural, that last what is it, like the screenshot at the end? That was Liz.
Yes.
And yeah, no, she, not only is she an incredible artist, but I mean,
She has a huge heart.
she does.
Mm-hmm.
She really does. So it's really cool to see her piece of art out in the community in El Salvador,
Yes.
and I'm sure that we'll be able to see more.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because as anyone knows, the beautification of any community just brings a lot more joy to someone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I love knowing that there's artists who are passionate to give back to their communities, and Liz, honestly, is just amazing person.
Yeah, no, she really is. Well, so now I want to go into something that actually our organizations are doing together. And so to be very transparent, right, with the audience, because I think that that's something very important. I am the founder of Central American Collective, and Friends of El Salvador happens to be our fiscal sponsor. And this is something that, you know, for us is very exciting because we're working with an organization that we know is doing the work, has shown that they're very well established, and that we know that we can also collaborate on, you know, multiple projects and multiple opportunities that are happening now, and, you know, will continue to happen in the future. And so it's really exciting that, you know, we have something coming up, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do. It's kind of exciting.
I will let you talk about it. I want you to talk about it.
Okay. We have the second annual Salvadoran Heritage Night with the Houston Dynamo on September 26th. It's exciting. It was my first time going last year. Obviously, it was the first one. But just seeing everyone come out with their blue and their white supporting,
Yes.
it was so much fun. One from the pre-party that we always hold at Pitch 25, to then moving everyone over to the Dynamo Stadium. It was really cool just knowing that there's a sea of blue and white walking to the stadium together, and then, you know, just cheering the Dynamo on for that day. But also knowing we're representing our people and our culture. And even if they're not Salvadoran, there were people there who were just wanting to hang out and, you know, be a part of the party, which anyone is welcome to. And whenever, of course, when you buy a ticket, not only are you going to the game, you are getting a drink from Pitch 25. You get a pupusa from Pupusa Loca, which anyone who's tried Pupusa Loca knows they're bomb.
Yes. And they're big. They're like plate size.
Girl, like, I can only eat one because I'm full after that. And then we have a specialty gift. I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything yet.
You know what? I think we can say it. We can definitely say by who, but we don't have a picture yet because it's coming.
It's to come. So we have a specialty baseball cap. Yeah, essentially. Yeah, it's a cap. And not only will you have the Houston Dynamo logo, of course, on there, but it will have Liz art on there as well. As you saw from the mural, if you thought that was beautiful, wait for you, as you're gonna want to wear it every day. I'm so excited for this cap. I'm not even kidding. I want my dad's gonna steal mine, so I know I need more than one. But I already bought his ticket, so it's fine. Because I told him he's going.
Everybody's going.
Everybody's going. And honestly, it's amazing because you're representing the culture. You have the representation of the Houston Dynamo, and then you're able to just be in community and get that third space for that evening during Hispanic Heritage Month, which is a big deal. So you're celebrating all the cultures, and then you have a night where you're able to celebrate Salvadorian culture as well. Especially in the city of Houston. It's knowing, for me, growing up, I had such trouble looking for that community, and knowing that this exists is such a big deal. So I love that we're able to do that for people in Houston, but also knowing that it's giving back to the communities for Friends of El Salvador and for everything that Central American Collective is doing as well.
Yeah. No, we're very excited because, at the core of this, it's also a fundraiser. And
Yeah.
so, yes, we're going to have fun. We're going to be in community. We're going to get a really cool piece of art. I
Yeah,
mean, seriously,
literally.
that cap, guys, that is a piece of art. You just wait until we have we have the final design, but we still have to wait for something in order to show you guys.
Exactly.
You know the process. There's always a process, but
Trust the process.
exactly. Trust the process. And so this is a fundraiser, and we are going to be able to do so much impact, and that's where I say that if everything aligns, if you are, doing the investment, if you are putting a solid foundation, if you're putting plans together, if you're finding the right people, and then you also have, the right projects, and you have this entire infrastructure towards that, then the impact can be so big.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for all of us to really remember that it really does take all of us to make a big impact. And with this fundraiser, I mean, we're going to be able to raise funds for Central American Collective. It's going to go to the renovation of a soccer field and a classroom that we're building in Los Guanacastes a sports complex in Soyapango. And then for Friends of El Salvador, I mean, it's to make sure that all of the programming that you guys are doing continues year long. Yeah. And it's not only in San Miguel, because you guys are also in Usulutan, in La Union. And I mean, so the impact is big, and it's going to be incredible once everybody is out there on the 26th to know that, hey, all this entire big group of people, we were able to do all of this.
Yeah. And knowing that, you're doing something good and leaving essentially a legacy. Because we would love to expand through all of El Salvador in the future. But even more so, we would love to expand to the communities all over the world who need it the most, and do what we're doing in El Salvador and just go all over the world would be the future girl.
Yes, no. And I mean, I know that the future is bright for the organization and for everybody that's involved. I mean, you guys have a great board. You guys have, a great group of a staff and volunteers. And so, that just really says a big deal about what's ahead. Yeah. So I want to make sure that we're putting up the details on the screen on how you can get tickets to Salvadoran Heritage Night at the Dynamo. And, it's on the 26th. It's going to be, we have the package that has the tickets, it has the food, it has also the baseball cap. And then up there you have the information on the link, as well as the QR code that you can scan. But it has we have a couple of pictures there of what that impact will, of the projects that that this night will be impacting. So this is great. This is so great. And so what else do you guys have after September 26th? Or even, no, you guys have something else before September 26th.
There's so much going on. I know there's the Puchica Voz that we'll be at for the market, because we'll be at Puchica Voz Market on September 13th. But then after Salvadoran Heritage Night on September 26th, we have our fundraising reception, Flores y Sonrisas. And our venue this year will be at the Houston Community Land Trust. They are also a nonprofit organization here in Houston. And so we are able to be there and, of course, raise funds to even further expand our programming.
And that's on October 2nd.
That's October 2nd.
Okay.
Yes. And it's a Friday. It's from 6 to 9. Save the date if you haven't already. But So we're also doing a lot more local Houston programming too for the communities here. We started actually this year with our nonprofit and small business workshop. And then we are now gearing for 2027 for an education forum. And what that entails is it's going to be for high school students. It's going to be for adults wanting to further their education or, anyone who has questions on that. And we'll be providing resources on what it takes to sign up for FAFSA, what it takes to sign up for grants, what it takes to go into trade school, even if they want to go that route. Because we're open to knowing that education can look like many forms.
Yes.
And so we're creating this forum essentially to be able to help guide in that here in the city of Houston. It's something that I wish I had growing up because I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
Knowing first generation born here, being the oldest, it was pretty much, all right, let's guess and hope for the best. And all right, I guess it worked. But this is something that we can now provide for the community here. And it was exciting knowing that we were able to do that through our nonprofit and small business workshop earlier this year, and knowing that we're now able to do more with that coming up next year.
Wow. No, there's big things going on with Friends of El Salvador.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
So now we're not only impacting the communities in El Salvador, but now we're bringing that impact to Houston as well.
Okay. Wow. Well, hey, everybody needs to go check out friendsofελsalvador.org because that's where you'll be able to see all of the information on the events, learn more about the mission. There's also different ways of supporting the organization, right? You can become a member, which will help with the fundraising and will also provide many benefits, right, for members. Yeah. But then there's also, you guys have really cool merch that I know, especially for, the running community, for everybody that, wants to have like really cool gear for when you're out there running, when you're out there cycling. They have really cool gear that you can purchase. And then, and now all of these great events that are coming up. So we need to make sure that everybody goes to the website, again, friendsofελsalvador.org, and that they follow on social media.
Yes.
Tell us what platforms are
we
you guys
are on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And Threads. I was like, what else is out there?
Everywhere.
We're on all the platforms. Of course, it's at Friends of El Salvador. And that's where you can see everything we're doing weekly. We're always updating it so people are informed of all the work that is being done, because we want to make sure that it's being seen and it's not just an organization to be an organization. We are actually putting in the work and doing it, and that's what we want to showcase on there.
Yeah, no, exactly. So everybody, again, you have to make sure that you are following Friends of El Salvador on all the platforms, that you can go right now to Friends of El Salvador or Central American Collective to get information on tickets for the Salvadoran Heritage Night on September 26th.
Yes.
At the Houston Dynamo, because that's going to be a very fun event. And it's also, what is it? It's make an impact and have fun, or we need. I don't know.
We need to come up with a catchphrase.
Yes, we do. We haven't.
Have fun, make an
that.
Impact. I've switched it.
We'll figure it out and have it roll it out on socials, and then make sure that you save the dates for all of the events that are coming up this fall, and become a member as well.
Because becoming a member, you also get a swag bag with it. It comes with your own shirt, your own Friends of El Salvador shirt. But then you're making an impact, and you get 20% off any exclusive events. So if you are a Friends of El Salvador member, you do get 20% off Salvadoran Heritage Night. So if you are a member already, you do get that 20% off. And if you're not a member, you could still have time to be a member and still get that 20% off as well.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Alrighty, well, we're about to wrap up today's Futbol Takeover. But before that, I want to make sure and not only invite you, but everybody out there, because this Saturday, the Houston Women's Soccer Association, HWSA, is celebrating 50 years of goals, passion, and community. And this is very exciting because this organization is the main place, right, for women to go and not only find community in soccer, but also, there's go to a pickup game, be part of a club, and just again, well, at the end of the day, build community with other women, with other women that love the sport. So everyone is invited to celebrate the golden anniversary of HWSA at Pitch 25 this Saturday, August 29th, from 3 to 6 p.m. So it's right before the Dynamo match versus San Jose Earthquakes. So please make sure that you make plans, you stop by with your family for an afternoon of storytelling, connecting, and celebration. I will say that Bernadette Payne, she is the current president of HWSA, and she is an incredible lady that has just been has been such a staple in the soccer community. So yeah, let's go support. And then there's other people like Shelly, also Jen Cooper. Jen Cooper, we're going to have her on the show. If it's not next week, it'll be the following. But she is, I will say, one of the most incredible women that knows everything about soccer, not only women's soccer, but also local. She did the almanac. So for years she was doing like the soccer almanac. When the Dynamo started back in 2006, she was the one that was like putting together all the stats. She's an incredible person, and she was in LA working for Fox, doing all of the research and all of the stuff for World Cup. So every World Cup, she goes and does her thing because they call her up because she's that incredible. And we have her here in Houston. And she has been an integral part of HWSA.
Wow.
Yeah, no, there's some incredible people out here doing incredible things. So, that's who we like to have. And thank you for joining us.
No, thank you. I'm excited for this Saturday and to learn more about how to join a pickup game or something like that.
Yes, no, it's gonna be really fun, and it's at Pitch 25. Man, we really need to give a shout out to
we really do
to our people at Pitch 25. Brian Chang and Lindsay. Oh my gosh, you guys! Thank you so much for opening your doors, not only for our upcoming event, but also for so many soccer events that are happening and organizations that are doing really cool stuff. So yeah, we'll be out there. But again, thank you for joining, and we will be en las redes, promoviendo todo esto and, showcasing all of the great stuff that Friends of El Salvador is doing.
Yeah. And aside from following Friends of El Salvador, don't forget to follow Central American Collective as well.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, remember that we are here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. So you can join us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks again for joining us today. Yeah, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
It's going to be so much fun.
This Saturday will be cool. Yeah, no. And then everything that we have coming up.
Yes.
So it's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
Bye, guys.
Bye.